Hi, my name's Phil Davies. I'm the head of the London office of 3IE and the Deputy Director at 3IE for systematic reviews. One of the barriers is that often researchers come to policy issues too late to be of any influence. So one of the solutions to that is quite simply is to try and get researchers more involved in the policy process earlier. That's a two-way street. They've got to want to do that, and also policymakers have got to want to engage with researchers earlier. The point I was making was John Davies's work. He's done some reviews of how to get this stuff to work. Shows that the earlier that's done, the better. There's some good evidence that where researchers are involved early, it helps to frame the policy issues. It's not just about giving people data. It's framing the issue, the way they think about a policy issue, the sorts of questions they ask, perhaps being the critical friend, asking some challenging questions that might not otherwise be asked. I also talked about the difference between strategic and operational barriers. If you're trying to get a policy solution in an operational sense, that's usually anywhere between 3 weeks and 3 months, or in some cases 3 hours. If a crisis develops, people suddenly want to know what the evidence is. Just last week, there was this sad, terrible thing in South Africa with Oscar Pistorius. And it happens we've done a review of violence in South Africa. Suddenly, people want to know what the evidence is. And fortunately, we did have some evidence that was based on good, sound evidence. But often people don't have that that's available. This is operational stuff. And 3 months is a luxury. If you've got 3 months, a good researcher should be able to put together a policy brief of what we know and what we don't know. And something we're doing at 3IE is developing gap maps. We are actually developing maps of evidence, and they're interesting for what they tell us, what we know, what we think we know, but they're also good because they tell us what we don't know. They're the gaps, and they're nice visual entities, gap maps. They show you quite clearly what you do and don't know.